My life was a nightmare due to postpartum mental illness, and I want to share that story as we wait for the Lindsay Clancy trial to begin because I think that it can help some people with their perspective. Now, before I go into that story, I want you to hear me say that the three most important pieces of this case are the three children who are no longer here, the three children who did not get to live a full life. 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Callan. But I believe if we only view this case as Lindsay Clancy is a monster, she's just an evil person who did an evil thing, I believe that we are refusing to view all parts of this case, and by that refusal, we are creating no hope for change for the next family. Because unfortunately, there's nothing we can examine or discuss in this case that will bring these three babies back. But based on my own experience and what I know about this case so far, some discussion and some examination may help the next family, the next mother, and the next set of children. When I had my son, I knew that something was wrong. I was very young. This was almost 20 years ago, so postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis are not things that I had ever known about or learned about, but I knew something was not right up here. So I started going to therapy, and that did not help. Now, I did not have the same exact symptoms or thoughts as Lindsay Clancy. I never thought about and I never hurt my own child, but I did attempt to hurt myself multiple times. And after one of those times, I voluntarily went inpatient. And instead of that being helpful, it led to an even darker road. By the time I left that hospital, they had me on 13 medications, and they had diagnosed me with everything under the sun, but none of those labels were accurate, and none of them started with postpartum. So I left that hospital on all these medications with even worse symptoms, and I lost most of my life for quite a while after that. Some of you may have heard me talk about that time of my life, which was horrendous. I cannot overstate how much it was hell on earth. I wound up living in a roach motel. I lost my job. I lost my family at the time. I lost my son for a while. And I could not be more grateful that today I am here and I have a wonderful relationship with my son. But when I look back at my own experience and I look at what has come out about this case leading up to the trial, I do believe that we have to examine it beyond that gut reaction of she is an evil person who took three babies away from this world. She did take those babies. She is not denying that. The only thing this jury will decide is if she was sane or insane at the time that it happened. And I just want people who have never dealt with postpartum or never watched a loved one live through it, I really want you to listen to everything that comes out in this trial, because we really have to see what can change. It is sadly too late for these three children, but it may not be too late for the next family, for the next mother who goes to get help for postpartum mental illness, for the next family of a mother who is dealing with these symptoms to know that you cannot leave children in the care of a mother who is going through this. I just wanted to share. It's very awkward and painful to relive that point in my life, but I have said about different topics over the years that when we silence the problem, there is no solution. So I ask you to really think about what all of the problems were in this case. Now, maybe you'll watch the trial and you will still feel that the only problem here was Lindsay Clancy, but I really do doubt that. And nothing about me sharing my own story is trying to excuse what happened to these children. I believe there were multiple failures here that led to January 24th, 2023. And I just don't want to see another case like this ever again. So I want us to examine every part of it and see what needs to change. I'll keep you updated on the trial. I'm sorry if this was too vulnerable and oversharing, but I am known to do that when I think it could possibly be helpful to someone's perspective. But I will end this the same way I have ended every video regarding this case. Rest in peace to the three babies who are no longer here. There is nothing I can say or examine that will make it okay that they did not get to live their lives. Rest in peace to Cora, Dawson, and Callan.